Premanition, and I just wanted to thank Harpreet first for inviting me to this. This is so amazing that you put this together, and I'm so happy to be a part of an evening of so many talented people just being so wonderfully vulnerable on stage. And this is my first show of 2023, and I was like, oh my gosh, like kind of nervous, and I've always been kind of an anxious human being. You'll get the theme in the songs. Hi, my name is Fatia. My stage name is Premanition, and I'm a musician, producer, videographer, author, and voiceover actor. I would say the songs come from, it depends what I want to do. Like, I have different approaches to what I want to express. So for example, I like to think of myself as a storyteller. I like telling stories. So sometimes it comes from a storyteller perspective. Sometimes it comes from a philosophical idea that I have come upon by observing others, observing myself. Sometimes it's a revelation, sometimes it's an observation.
Can you describe the feeling of writing a song to someone who doesn't?
Writing a song is like trying to articulate this like nebulous feeling, thought, theme, and I think that there's different ways to write a song. I do spend a lot of time sometimes on a train or like sitting somewhere, or even like in the middle of like a work day, I'm like working on something and I'll think of like some sort of lyrics and I'll just like have to write it down. Like I have so many notes on my phone, just endless amount of notes, endless amount of voice notes. If the melody comes first, I'll be at a bus stop and I'll just like hope that there's nobody around me. So when I start a song, I don't know, like every writing session is different. Like today, obviously a little bit different than the usual writing session. But I always have like a shit ton of feelings that I can choose to open up one day or another. So I don't know, recently, yeah, I'll just kind of like sit and like think about like, okay, like how have we been feeling this week? Like what has been going on? Has there been like a general theme? This is that process when I was saying like, you kind of like explore and then see like what kind of comes up a little bit and see if you can lean on it. So right now I'm kind of just like sussing out like my inner mind. Okay, so like how have we felt this week? And what have we been up to? So yeah, I'll kind of, sorry if it sounds like I'm ignoring you, I am. Yeah, so we'll see kind of. Do any of us have empathy? No, I'll put that in. I think that there's different ways to write a song, and I'll go through a couple of them. So one of them is about really like honing in on a theme and exploring your mind for the feeling, whatever it is, and really about this like self-reflection. Another side of songwriting is telling a story and creating a narrative. And that doesn't mean that it comes from an inauthentic place, but it means that perhaps you have a theme, but you're not necessarily drawing every single aspect of that song from the depths of what you're feeling, but you have a theme and you are building a story around it, much like an author would, or a scriptwriter would.
What is your earliest memory of Fatia when she started to play like music and sing?
Well, I should say that when she was 3-year-old, actually she started singing, which is kind of very God-gifted talent. We were in Montreal and my dad was still alive, and then I used to sing on stage. So she used to always sing the same song like I used to sing. And I kind of, at that time I can't just forget that, because so talented that, only 3-year-old. And I'm very proud. Like whenever I see, she sing and it's her passion and everything, like I think she's doing something like I wanted to do, but I think she's more courageous and she has more passion than I did. So it makes me very proud.
When you translate Abba's lyrics to me, like the layers of emotion, the layers of meanings, like that's that's the type of writer I want to be.
Because he used to express himself.
Music was a part of my life from a very early age. My grandfather was a renowned lyricist in Bangladesh, and my family is just a group of singers and musicians. My uncle, he plays the keyboards. My grandmother was a TV singer, and all of my aunts sing, my mom sings, and I was just surrounded by music.
And then I can see that in you too, like your songs and stuff, but yeah. Anything?
Yeah, it's, when we talk about it, I always get kind of...
That's okay.
I don't know why.
Well, because you, I think back of your head, you still remember the time that he spent. Sometimes it happens, like, or you heard about him so much. I always feel like that. You feel like that is your memory now, right?
You say it so. Yeah. I think maybe I wouldn't have remembered him this well if you hadn't told me about him so much, you know. So my grandfather was a huge influence for me, and it's funny because he was only around for about the first 4 years of my life, so, you know, one would wonder, like, how is that really much of an influence? But I think a large part of the foundation of our family was just built on this, like, the roots of music and art. And like I said, my grandfather was a renowned lyricist in Bangladesh, and I actually, I can speak Bangla, but I can't read or write it, which is like super sad because I can't read his songs, his lyrics. But my mom, she, throughout my life, like, she has always translated for me, and she's the one who always kind of kept his memory alive for me, like, as I've aged, so that's why I feel even more connected to him. Songwriting to me is not a draining activity, actually. It feels really like a natural extension of just trying to put words down, and I feel good about that. Even particularly difficult songs that I've written, like, I never felt drained. I always felt, I don't know, I always felt like happy that I think I just always feel satisfied that this is what I wanted to say. Because at the end of the day, the reason that it's not draining for me is because I think who I am is just like self-expression person. So it's like my job, like not even my job, it's like my purpose. I feel like it's like kind of shitty. Yeah, I'm like done with this. I don't think I have like anything else in here, so we're gonna save this session now. And yeah, we are done for today. Creative block is what I'll just like call it overall. And when I have a block, I used to be very like, yeah, just like really hard on myself, like, oh my gosh, like now, like, you know, all the songs you're writing are like total garbage. Or if I'll have like a few months where I'm like writing stuff that just like, it's not great. It's not really how I want to express myself. You know, it's not really saying what I want to say, but maybe adjacent to it. But I'm like, it's just not really what I want to say. It's not really how I feel, or it's not really relevant anymore. So when I have those weeks even, I just get so frustrated, but now I'm much better at like, hey, it's fine. Like, just, you know, this doesn't say anything about the quality of the songwriter you are. It's just a phase, and phases happen. Like, nobody's 100% all the time. So yeah, I've definitely gone through writer's block, and I still go through writer's block, but the way I handle it is much different.
Professional, yeah, all right. Neck high, like there's a string pulling the top of your head. Good posture. Okay, and then how about like your best murderous glare?
Oh my god.
I know it's gonna be an exercise in acting.
She's definitely had her low points, but I mean, she's never been stuck in them for that long. Like, she gets there, and then I think she's like, okay, I'm done with feeling bad now, and then she goes for her next goal, whatever that is. I think it's particularly difficult. Well, it must be particularly difficult for sort of like a small-time artist doing things on her own, trying to break through into this big world that's so like gated.
So I record, and then I also mix and master, and so that's mixing is the process of bringing all the tracks that you've recorded and getting them to balance and work with each other, adding reverbs and EQs and yeah, just getting it to sound as like a cohesive song. When you record a song in its raw state, it sounds like the song, but it's not, doesn't have that finished sound to it. So the mixing aspect of that brings it all together, so it sounds like a song that you'd be listening to on the radio, or you know, on whatever playlist you're listening to.
So I'll have like, you know, I'll have my headphones in, and they're going to be recording me from a studio in Toronto, and that's basically allows a different studio to connect to a remote source, and they're able to like just kind of record me as if I was at that studio. You left me tired and lonely, and I can't believe I'm still waiting around. I don't wanna cry. Searching all over. Just wrote a whole song.
Do you think that you're going to quit your engineering job at some point to pursue music?
I'm trying to focus more on the journey rather than specific end goals. And yeah, at this point, it's really just a metric of costs and living expensive of like, okay, how much is covered by the day job? How much is covered by art and that business? And then once those numbers maybe even up, then we'll start to decide. Performances like these are something that you have to like build and practice a million times. And when I record a song and it's on a CD or whatever, that's its own entity. But then to recreate it, to perform it live, it's like a whole other song. There is no path here, it's as far as it goes. Searching for something, I'm all on my own. Pray for a stranger to show me love beyond the horrors, the storms up above. I am the lion, I am the deer, I am the monster, the source of all your fear. I am the hopeless, I am the dream, constantly searching for the answers to everything, so I fly. Oh, I fly. The flowers hunger for an iron sword to rule the forest, the stones and the storm. I once was fragile and made of glass, till I was broken, turned into ash. I am the lion, I am the deer, I am the monster, the source of all your fear. I am the hopeless, I am the dream, constantly searching for the answers to everything, so I fly. Oh, I fly. Where do the birds go when it starts to rain? Hellfire burns through everything, nowhere to land. The earth is charred, the leaves have fallen, the reaper's at the door. I am the lion, I am the deer, I am the monster, the source of all your fear. I am the hopeless, I am the dream, constantly searching for the... I think that's also why I love songwriting so much, and music and art, because I think that that is you taking a part of your soul, putting it into this package that someone else can look at, listen to, touch, feel, whatever, and that is the connection point.